You gotta love it in case we love it.
No, he's just using this.
You should
Just using this.
for his papers. He's got a speech. Yeah, he's just. Thank you.
How many seats do you want?
I'll give him this. This is clear, okay?
I think we have gotten the mass, critical mass. But you've done it. You see how it's going to actually work. there are a lot of areas that interface. And that's Star Wars, just like you sent me an email.
We get used to BJ's assistant. They have. So now you see these two.
We have a brief power outage, but it will come right back on. We're fixing it.
Should we explain to them? The chairman is fixing.
Hi, I'm really, really sorry to keep you waiting. It's just everything was all set up. The team has been working. The theater is absolutely a gem of a space and a venue that we use every day. But we just had something tripped, and I think it's just the AC circuit. And they're all hands are on deck and they're trying to fix it. Yeah? So please be patient. But in your bags is a lot of goodies. If you feel hungry, we got some popcorn. And the reason is that in fact, one will wait the big announcement is about to come. And I'll tell you what comes after that, which is that last year we documented our own journey. You know, entrepreneurs. We supported 1,000 entrepreneurs last year, and every entrepreneur is on a journey. And one of the beautiful things about being an entrepreneur is you can pivot. You think you're going in this direction. You can make mistakes. So last year was the entrepreneurship program itself was a proof of concept, and we were quietly making mistakes and learning from them. But we were also documenting this extraordinary story. People talk about changing the African narrative. The power is back. Wow. So the AC is back. Does that mean? Oh, brilliant. So you'll have to wait for the story until after the chairman has made his announcement. But it is TEEP is an extraordinary story. And it is really contributing to the new African narrative. But I think if we're ready to go, the AC is working and we can bring the chairman in.
Is he coming in? So there is food in your bag, so please eat. So where's, okay, now you can take it.
Yes, I'm getting. Lola.
Good afternoon, everyone. You're all welcome to Tony Elumelu Foundation's announcement of the second set of Tony Elumelu Entrepreneurship Program selected entrepreneurs, as well as the viewing of our premiere TEF documentary. I'd like to call on to the stage Mr. Tony Elumelu himself, who is the founder of Tony Elumelu Foundation, and today is his birthday. A quick chorus.
Thank you very much. Is it okay? So first is to apologize to everyone. As I was about to walk in, they said I should wait. That the greatest challenge entrepreneurs have on the continent had struck. You know what it is? Power. You know, improve access to electricity on the continent, and you know the true potential of Africa. So on that, I'd like to apologize and start. We just finished a meeting, a very important meeting, and I know a number of Africans are awaiting the outcome of the meeting. So we'll go straight to the point. Let me recognize the presence of some eminent people here. The U.S. Consul General John Bray is here with us. John, thanks so much. Thanks for coming. The U.S. continues to support entrepreneurship and what we do at the Tony Elumelu Foundation in particular. When President Obama visited Kenya last year, the U.S. government said that the road to Kenya passed through Lagos. The U.S. Commerce Secretary was in Nigeria in January this year. As part of our very busy schedule, she found time to encourage the Tony Elumelu entrepreneurs. Here again, we have the Consul General himself with us. Thank you very much, and thanks to the U.S. government. We have a great, our group is a gender-friendly group. You see somewhere there are some top ladies representing the boss of the companies in the group. We have Ms. Fadayomi, Chief Mrs. Fadayomi, who is the chairperson of Afriland. Yeah. But it's understandable. They are both sitting together. I will have Erelu Adebayo, the chairperson of Afriland, and then Mo and Limi and Co. And we have great parents here, Chief and Mrs. Isaac Obwe. Thank you, sir. So, and we have many family members, Peter Lumelo, Agatha, the Iron Lady, and co. But I will have many mentors, alumni, and the selection committee members of the Tony Elumelu Foundation. Let me welcome everyone to this fulfilling occasion of the Tony Elumelu Foundation as we announce the second group of 1,000 African entrepreneurs who make up the 10,000 businesses that will help achieve true and enduring economic transformation in Africa. Tony Elumelu Foundation committed the sum of $100 million to train, mentor, and seed 10,000 African businesses over the next 10 years. Through these businesses, we seek to create 1 million jobs and $10 billion in additional revenue across our continent. But you might ask, why are we doing this? We're doing this because of my firm belief that no one but us will develop Africa. So I put out the challenge to African entrepreneurs who hungered for a chance to prove themselves and chase their business dreams. And I said to them, if you are willing to fight for your dream, I will bet real money on you. In doing so, I also challenged myself and the Tony Elumelu Foundation team led by Paminda. Where is she? Paminda, you have to sit down. Led by Paminda to design, innovate, and execute a program that will be accessible, learnable, and fruitful to African entrepreneurs regardless of their nationality. So, I like to say that this program that was launched in January 2015 has actually recorded some successes. In 2015, we received over 20,000 applications from across 52 countries, of which 1,200 million entrepreneurs emerged from 51 countries covering all of Africa's geopolitical regions, North, East, South, Central, and West Africa, and major language blocs, Anglophone, Francophone, and Lusophone, and the Arabic Africa too. The top countries for selected applicants then were Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda, Ghana, and South Africa. Over 20 sectors were represented in the first class of the Tony Elumelu entrepreneurs, with the following being the most popular sectors: agriculture, education, retail, manufacturing, and of course, ICT. The inaugural class of TEF have recorded significant success so far. And in the most popular sector, agriculture, our 304 agricultural entrepreneurs have reported creating nearly 15,000 casual and part-time and full-time jobs. Following the opening of the 2016 application portal, we received over 45,000 applications, more than double of last year's figure, and this time from 53 African countries. Nigeria, of course, produced the most applications, followed again by Kenya, Uganda, and Cameroon, respectively. Honorable mention goes to Ethiopia for tripling its applications this year. We are also excited to announce that Libya and Seychelles were represented for the first time. In addition, 32% of the applications were from women, with an impressive 13,000 applicants, more than triple from last year's figure. Agriculture led the industry sectors, with fashion and ICT following as second and third. Majority of applications were received from applicants between 26 and 35 years of age. The comprehensive selection process involves 4 levels of review to filter 1,000 transformative startups and business ideas who will participate in the program. The level 1 review removes, identifies, and filters the lowest ranking applications. The level 2 review further ranks the higher performing applications based on our set criteria, which are feasibility, market opportunity, financial understanding, scalability, and leadership potential, to provide the top 8,000 for Accenture, the firm of Accenture, to review. Accenture review selects the top 1,000 applications and a buffer list. Our selection committee review is the final review that leads to the selection of the best 1,000 applications. And that is the meeting we just ended. Of the 1,000 selected to form the TEF class of 2016, I'd like to share some statistics. First, 32% of the beneficiaries are women. In South Africa, the women almost achieve parity with their male counterparts at 48% representation. The top 6 sectors are agriculture for the second year in a row, with almost 30%. ICT, manufacturing, education, and training, and a surprisingly strong showing by the fashion sector. I'm proud to say that the quality of applications this time was extremely impressive, and in fact made it difficult for Accenture to even do their selection work. And we observe increasing sophistication of revenue models and marketing plans. Let me use this opportunity to thank and recognize the following people for their work in making this second round another huge success. Paminda, and that is the CEO, she is the CEO of the foundation. Abimbola, the Chief Operating Officer of the foundation. The entire staff of the Tony Elumelu Foundation, small but mighty team. Small in number but highly effective. And Accenture, the Accenture partner here, where is he? So even though we pay some small fees, but please stand up and recognize. Thank you. And of course, the entire SOD staff. They've been wonderful. Thank you very much. And this is Afro-capitalism in action. We believe that sustainability, business development, in a manner that benefits all, beyond the bottom line, is important. So as we work at the SODs, we take it upon ourselves that we must give helping hands in a sustainable fashion to others. Today, as Abimbola let out, as I turn 53, I have come to understand that the true measure of wealth is not in meaningless bank account statements, but in giving others economic hope, expanding access to opportunity, creating lasting wealth in society, amongst others. And that is why my colleagues and I thought that the best way to share a birthday gift with the world, and African entrepreneurs in particular, is to use this day to make this announcement of the next batch of 1,000 Tony Elumelu entrepreneurs. It's therefore my pleasure to announce that for the second year, the Tony Elumelu Foundation is fulfilling its commitment of identifying the next generation of African business leaders. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming the second set of 1,000 African entrepreneurs whose ideas will transform Africa. You will not see the names here, but at this moment, it will go online. It will be posted on Tony Elumelu Foundation website. It also be posted on Tony Elumelu's Facebook for people to see their names. So congratulations to the TEF class of 2016. Let me welcome you to view the premiere, shall we? Thank you.
Thank you.
you very much. A big round of applause. The Africa capitalist, Tony Elimelu. So Paminda has a few remarks that she had started before on the documentary you're about to watch, you're about to view. So bring out your popcorn. Yeah, we will dim the lights and we'll start off. So Paminda, I call you right after we'll have questions and answers and all remarks that you'd like to make.
So really, you can't really follow that one. The second round of 1,000 Tony Elumelu entrepreneurs who will begin their journey as the previous 1,000. From now, they will go on a 12-week training program. They will be assigned a mentor. They will be invited for the networking forum. And so what you will see now is really a documentation of the journey that we went through in our first year of the Tony Elumelu Entrepreneurship Program. It's Tony Elumelu Entrepreneurs Transforming Africa. Thank you. Yeah, no, yes.
Those are the same chairs you're using for your panel section.
Can we stand on this side?
Are you comfortable or you want the chair adjusted in particular?
Can we turn the lights?
Yeah, she's standing. You want to let somebody to come up. Straight. Hold on. Responsible for the noise.
With the highest GDP on the African continent and a population of over 21 million people, the city of Lagos is home to major African and international corporations. Over the past decade, this megacity has become one of the busiest commercial hubs of Africa and has seen many businessmen flourish. Africa is a home to about 617 million young people of working age, and the number is expected to rise to 1.6 billion by 2060, effectively turning Africa into the world's largest workforce. This young human capital has the potential to drive transformative growth across the continent. Harnessing the ingenuity and creativity of African entrepreneurs to create jobs and generate wealth is one solution to spur innovation and development on the continent.
I'm from Ghana. My business is in the IT sector.
And I'm a fashion designer from Nigeria.
What we do, we replace candles and kerosene by making solar lights affordable for the people who are living in Madagascar.
The founder of Great Fresh Foods, which is a company that aims to promote healthy lifestyle in Africa.
I'm from Zambia, Lusaka, and I'm in the health sector.
I'm developing a solution which can help farmers manage their farms as a business.
These entrepreneurs are part of the Tony Elumelu Entrepreneurship Program, launched on the 1st of January 2015 with a decade-long commitment of $100 million to grow 10,000 African entrepreneurs. 1,000 were selected from 20,000 who applied from 52 African countries. Born, educated, and made in Nigeria, Tony Elumelu is the new generation of African business leaders driving its economic transformation. Businessman, investor, entrepreneur, philanthropist, and avowed Afri-capitalist, he holds the Nigeria National Honors and was recognized as one of Africa's 20 most powerful people by Forbes magazine. Chairman of United Bank of Africa, Transcorp plc, Heirs Holdings, and founder of the Tony Elumelu Foundation, he shared with us the reasons for his success and his vision for the continent.
Basically, I am a Nigerian by birth, but an African in everything I do, from my investments to my philanthropy and to everything and my essence. I believe that no one but us will develop Africa. And growing up, I've always felt that every one of us is equally as endowed as our friends and mates in other parts of the world. And I felt that it was a matter of time for us to prove this to the world.
In 2010, he founded Heirs Holdings, an African investment company with investments in financial services, power generation, healthcare, agribusiness, hospitality, and real estate.
My business is cuts across geographies across Africa and also sectors in Africa. I'm in the oil and gas sector, where we have an oil producing asset. My intent is to help industrialize Africa. We know that ultimately these investments will yield beyond profit for us and will help touch society.
Tony Elumelu is the chairman of United Bank of Africa, one of the largest financial institutions in Africa, with operations in 19 African countries and presence in New York, London, and Paris.
And over 1,000 branches employing over 25,000 Africans, which gives me a lot of joy, helping to catalyze economic development in these countries and helping further to facilitate payments in addition to financing the small and medium-scale enterprises in the countries where we operate in. That is development. So if you bring power, finance sector, oil and gas investment, and also our investment in real estate and hospitality, then you begin to see that we don't only create wealth for our shareholders, we also have to create wealth for society.
A new Africa has now begun to emerge, a more mature continent, aware of its past, proud of its heritage, and willing to do more in pursuit of a brighter future. The last decade has been one of unprecedented socio-economic improvements across Africa. Indeed, economies are growing rapidly, and with a growth rate up to 5%, sub-Saharan Africa is expected to be among the fastest growing regions in the coming years. And finally, By 2050, Africa's population will double to 2.4 billion.
Africa is a land of opportunities. People in Africa are so warm, embracing, friendly, and they want to progress. They want the best things in life as their counterparts in Asia and America and Europe. From my investments, there's nowhere else that use the kind of returns on investment as what I make in Africa. And beyond me, my business partners say the same thing. Two, Africa's population is huge and rising, and the demographic structure of our population is such that you have huge consumers coming out of Africa, and the income per capita has improved. So it means you have huge effective demand on the continent of Africa. That is huge. That is big opportunity.
In the past, a major inhibiting factor for Africa to realize its potential has been the lack of social and political stability, but Tony Elumelu is optimistic that this is changing.
And also in Africa, our governments are improving. We had an Africa before, when maybe half of the countries on the continent were ruled by military juntas. Today, almost all have democratic government, and they are all improving and striving to get better and better and better. The ease of doing business is gradually improving. Corruption is going down on the continent, and macroeconomic stability in Africa is becoming a constant. So, indeed, Africa is rising. And that is why to the 20 million entrepreneurs, I say to them, there's no better time than this moment to be and become an entrepreneur in Africa. We had a time in Africa where our leaders, our private sector leaders, the measure of wealth was how much they had in their bank accounts. But we don't need that. That wealth doesn't make anything meaning. We want your wealth expressed in the investments you have on the African continent so that we can help create employment, help create jobs for people who need jobs, and help create economic hope and pay tax to governments.
In October 2010, Tony Elumelu, described as a 21st century philanthropist, set up the Tony Elumelu Foundation. Through its programs and activities, the foundation seeks to institutionalize luck and create an environment where entrepreneurship can flourish in a sustainable manner.
My vision was to help empower the next generation of African leaders. Government is to set the right environment, but the private sector must take lead and take charge. Having been an entrepreneur myself, let me help to create more. That is the driving force behind the Tony Elumelu Foundation.
How can I democratize this opportunity that I had with Mr. Chief Ebitimi Banigo? How do I create the opportunity for other people? He calls it, how do I democratize luck? So when we were having this conversation, so it was his thought, like, okay, what are we going to do? So he called a few of us, okay, go have a discussion about it and come back. And we started with the name. What do we call this foundation? First, should we have a foundation? Yes, we should have a foundation. How will we be different? The legacy he wants to leave is the impact of the work of the foundation. We should be known by how did we affect lives? What impression did we leave on them? And how have we helped Africa?
The foundation had been doing a number of things. We had done what they call the AMIC program, where we were bringing students in business schools across the world to come and have some kind of experience in businesses, in small businesses in Africa. We've done several things. We make donations to the best students in certain disciplines in the universities.
And we're also blessed to have great advisory board members and also great CEO and team. So with this combination, with this type of people and resources, the future will appreciate the little dream we have today to play our own part in the development of Africa.
So I'm looking for people who are hardworking, who believe in, they might still be learning about being emotionally intelligent. I'm a student myself. Who believe in integrity beyond just the dictionary meaning of the word, is knowing that if I give my word, I'm going to keep it. I'm going to just exceed expectations. I will blow out your mind when I'm delivering. Who are resilient and who believe in synergy, that I do not exist on my own, but there are other people within the space that I need to work with to deliver superior value. There also want people who believe in Africa.
In April 2014, Parminder Vir OBE was invited by Tony Elomelu to help structure the Tony Elomelu Entrepreneurship Program. Parminder is an award-winning film and television producer, expert in media investments and emerging markets.
The scale and the size was really daunting. And then I thought, hang on, just pause. This is like being asked to make a mega feature film or a series of films, right? So I applied my filmmaking and film development and film structuring approach to structuring the Tony Elomelu Entrepreneurship Program. When I arrived, Mr. Elomelu was thinking that we should give $10,000 as a grant. So one of my first things was also to really change the mindset. Entrepreneurs don't need grants, they need investment. They need to know that you as an investor, an angel investor, a family or a friend are taking a risk with your capital in their enterprise. Yeah. So the word seed capital investment or a non-returnable seed capital investment was introduced.
In developing the model for the Tony Elomelu Entrepreneurship Program, Parminder drew on what sustained her as an entrepreneur over the decades.
What sustained me in my ideas and my passion is tools to manage a business. Yeah, there is no. It's a skill. Entrepreneurship is teachable and learnable. I totally believe in that. What sustained me was the phenomenal network that I built. So networks are really, really critical. Information, quality information that's available, which is selected and curated. And also, obviously, funding, yeah, and mentoring. Mentoring is absolutely critical. So I guess I set about, leverage my own experience as an entrepreneur and as a filmmaker to see how I could transfer those skills to designing the framework for the Tony Elomelu Entrepreneurship Program. And what emerged after 10 months of doing that was the 7 pillars of TEF.
The 7 pillars of TEF provide a unique system of effective and intensive support for the startup. These include a startup enterprise toolkit with a 12-week program to equip entrepreneurs with basic skills required to launch and run their businesses. The assignment of mentors to the entrepreneurs so they can benefit from their expertise and learn from their entrepreneurial journey. An online resource library so they can access case studies, sample business plans, or industry articles from anywhere in Africa. A 3-day live action learning bootcamp where the 1,000 Pan-African TEF startups gather in one location to share their stories, build networks, and develop their soft business management skills. The hosting of an annual Elomelu Entrepreneurship Forum to showcase TEF startups to a global audience of entrepreneurs, incubators, businesses, governments, and investors. Seed capital funding divided into 2 parts. A non-returnable investment of $5,000 for development of their business idea, and second stage seed capital investment of further $5,000 provided as returnable capital. And finally, lifelong membership to the TEF alumni network to foster sustainable relationship with the foundation for knowledge exchange, engagement, collaboration, and to build long-lasting business partnerships amongst the alumni across Africa. Having steered the development of a model for Pan-African, multilingual, and sustainable program, Mr. Elomelu launched the Tony Elomelu Entrepreneurship Program. He also declared 2015 as the year of African entrepreneurship.
My life has come, as I said, in a full circle, because today, the lucky entrepreneur I was at some point will today embark on the journey of giving back to the continent that has given so much to me, and doing it, if I may say so, at an unprecedented level. Through the Tony Elomelu Entrepreneurship Program, I am committing $100 million to support the next generation of African entrepreneurs. The program represents a decade-long commitment to support 10,000 African entrepreneurs and startups. The program is open to entrepreneurs from all 54 African countries. Over the next 10 years, our goal is to generate 1 million jobs through these 10,000 businesses and to help contribute at least $10 billion to revenues across Africa through these businesses. We're not targeting any sector. We just want people who believe in themselves, who have ideas that can develop the continent. And so that was what drove us.
We feel it's a powerful call to action that actually compels African entrepreneurs to actually put forward, applications and to be part of the program. So that was the key messaging. So it was a message that resonated all through the materials we prepared, both online, offline, on all the materials that we put out, especially the publicity materials. We put out communication materials in newspapers across Africa, in West Africa, East Africa, South Africa.
To ensure transparency and fairness, the Foundation assembled an independent Pan-African selection committee, including established entrepreneurs. The Foundation developed a clearly defined selection criteria against which the applications would be evaluated, including feasibility of the business idea, market opportunity, financial understanding, scalability, leadership, and entrepreneurial skills. It engaged Accenture development partners to ensure transparent application selection process, vital for the integrity and credibility of the program.
And they came together, the Accenture recommended to the external selection committee. And that's how we chose them. I personally, I didn't know any one person before that day. The first time I saw these people was at the boot camp.
I am a member of the TEF selection committee, which is not an easy task, as you can imagine. Our responsibility basically is to identify who these TEF entrepreneurs should be and to make sure that we're picking the right people. When we are looking at the TEF program, we're actually looking at the entrepreneur. So the people who are applying for the program, who are they? How unique are those ideas? And how impactful would those ideas be, on the continent as a whole?
What we wanted to do was to democratize luck and give people opportunity. You have ideas that can work, ideas that can develop Africa, come forward and share the ideas.
It was a blind selection with no particular emphasis. We selected from 51 countries. So we have entrepreneurs now from 51 countries.
All these countries have their processes, they have their laws, they have their regulations. So we needed to develop something that would capture and ensure that whatever we get, risk is very, very minimal in terms of the applications. First of all, we developed the terms and conditions because, of course, we had over 20,000 applications.
The announcement and telling people who won, when they were giving testimonies, some had a scream when they were told they were successful. It was a very interesting moment. The satisfaction, the excitement, the joy.
There are 25 industries that are represented, sectors that are represented in our program. The biggest of them is the agriculture. So a lot of young entrepreneurs, and our demographic on our program is 21 to 37. So it's a young demographic, yeah? They see agriculture as a real business opportunity. And they see that they can intervene in the supply chain, from farm to fork. There's a huge amount from processing to distribution to sales.
In April 2015, the selected 1,000 entrepreneurs embarked on the 7 pillars of TEF, starting with a 12-week training program supported by an online mentor. The mentors are selected for their passion for business and supporting new entrepreneurs.
We had over 400 mentors on the program. Unlike the entrepreneurs, they didn't have to be African residents or African based. So we had some mentors from Brazil, we had some people from the USA, we had people from the arts, we had people from fashion, media, and entertainment. And then obviously we had people in agriculture. And some of them we picked based on their strengths. So we picked, people who are good financial analysts and things like that.
I'm one of the mentors. For the past 12 weeks, I've been mentoring 5 mentees, 2 from Sierra Leone, 1 from Ghana, 1 from Cameroon, and 1 from Rwanda. But the future in the next 10, 15, 25 years, people will be developing businesses and creating jobs, which is badly needed in Africa. And that's what the foundation is all about.
The 12-week training program was supplemented by the Theory Way, an entrepreneur's handbook for success. It proved to be a great resource and essential reading for entrepreneurs.
Like from the 12-week program, we realized that a lot of the entrepreneurs struggle with branding. I mean, it sounds simple, but they really struggle with, naming their business. How do they sell their business to the entrepreneurs? And one of the key things we did for the MLP, that's the mental learning platform, was that we introduced a course called the TOE Way. So basically, the chairman had these write-ups that he shared with the entrepreneurs that showed his basic principles on how he has succeeded so far. Entrepreneurs are actually willing and happy to pick lessons from people that have gone before them, people that are very successful, like the chairman.
TEP Bootcamp is the physical manifestation of the 7 pillars of TEP. The Tony Elomelu entrepreneurs traveled across Africa from Casablanca, Cape Town, Dakar, Nairobi to Nigeria, creating an unprecedented gathering of African entrepreneurs from 51 African countries. For many of the entrepreneurs, the TEP Bootcamp was the first opportunity to meet each other, network, and build cross-border business partnerships.
I was a bit skeptical because I'm like, 1,000 people, the logistics is going to be horrible. But so far it's been good. And I've met amazing Africans. I've met some amazing people from Morocco, Mauritius, Burundi. I've had friends from Guinea-Bissau. And each and every one of them, their stories are different yet inspiring.
I was responsible for delivering the bootcamp and worked with a large team and preparing the venue so we could get a world-class event despite the challenges. One essence was to bring people together so they could see themselves live. They had been forming relationships on the online platform. They had been meeting offline at some meetups that had been taking place around Africa. But now bringing them together created such a synergy and energy that we think would increase inter-African trade, would increase sharing of ideas.
For the bootcamp, I dealt primarily with the logistics, visas, and travel arrangements for the entrepreneurs. Hello, logistics speaking. So I had to get all 1,000 entrepreneurs in one location for 2 days. It was very grueling, I have to say. You go to one country, they don't need a visa to come to Nigeria. You go to another country, and it could take 3 weeks. Some people didn't have a passport. So it was very intense.
The beauty of boot camp was that you didn't quite know who was who. So a lot of us wore TEP t-shirts. So whether you're a journalist, whether you're working or you're an entrepreneur. And so, a lot of us would have entrepreneurs come and pitch to you, and, they don't know who you are at all. You could be just another entrepreneur. And so there's really no boundaries in that way, and it really enables interaction.
The program included interactive sessions with successful entrepreneurs, inspirational speakers, business and political leaders.
She's a very modest woman. She started off as the director of entrepreneurship. She's now the CEO of Tony Elomelu Foundation. A big round of applause for Paminda.
We are here supporting and enabling and empowering entrepreneurs. Failure for you is not an option.
And I want to offer each and every one of you my sincere congratulations. But you also have my sympathy, because the expectations on your shoulders are impossibly high. For Africa does not need a renaissance or merely to rise in order to achieve her potential. She requires nothing short of a revolution. And you, the entrepreneurs, are the soldiers who will lead it.
There's a certain way that TOE does business, and we thought to codify it, to institutionalize his achievements. So we came up with the TOE way. He says, entrepreneurship is a long-term journey. Dare to dream, implement your dream, and stay focused.
It is the right time to be from this continent. You're standing at a time when there's no disparity between African knowledge and the knowledge of the world. You're standing at a time where, coming together as African entrepreneurs, you are in the place where one of the largest growths is emerging in the world. But the critical thing I want to say to you is that you are the first generation that's going to understand this, that modernization does not have to be westernization, that you have the capacity inside you as Africans to compete with the world.
Ladies and gentlemen, we also have the founder of the Tony Elumelu Foundation, the chairman of Affairs Holdings, Mr. Tony Elumelu CON.
The highlight of the TEF bootcamp was a surprise appearance from the Vice President of Nigeria, the Prime Minister of Benin Republic, and the Governor of Kaduna State, who all spoke on the importance of supporting entrepreneurship across Africa.
As you pursue your ideas, when someone says, "This is impossible," reply with 2 sentences. 1, nothing is impossible. 2, impossible only takes longer.
When I see you, I will not say I have a dream. I will not even say I have an expectation that you succeed. With your values, creative values, and this conviction that people is everything, more important than capital, people and their knowledge, people and their ambition. I have not a dream. I have not an expectation. I have a certainty that you are the winner.
Tony Elumelu's initiative goes beyond creating entrepreneurs. He has shown by this project that social entrepreneurs, that is, creating opportunities for others using commercial methods and strategies, is fundamental to development. I want to charge you all in your own little ways to become like little Elumelus, doing your own bit to create opportunities for others. Africa indeed today stands ready to seize the future. I say so because of you, young entrepreneurs who are here. Your creativity, innovation, talent, and most importantly, strength of character is our future. Let me say how extremely proud I am of you all. I'm sure that your countries and our continent will be safe in your hands. Congratulations and thank you very much.
And we had a panel session with some great entrepreneurs from different industries that came in to give their thoughts on, what it is to run a business in Africa, to empower and encourage the entrepreneurs to go forth and actually actualize their dreams. So it was very, 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 very rewarding to see that all come together.
But my mom was a widow and I wanted to help her. So my initial inspiration then was actually to help her, even though she didn't believe it, but I really truly wanted to help her because I saw how much she was struggling. And that led me into entertainment. I thought to myself, this could be powerful. And within our local community, I saw how much people actually respected me. And I was just 16 years old. And so the first thing that hit me is this. Whatever you do in life, as long as you do it well, you do it diligently, and you're very focused, people would actually come to respect you for it.
When I look at all my experiences, I say that I'm identifying the white gaps. And the white gaps are those spaces in our society that exist, that need to be filled, and it's about making sure that your passion and your purpose meets with the white gap that you've identified.
I think as an entrepreneur, cash flow is king. And the way I say it is revenue first before cost. Make sure you know how you're going to make the money before you incur the cost.
You need to build your personal brand. That's the essence of you. Your character, integrity, your core values. Guard your reputation.
You could see from questions I was getting after the session, and a lot of emails I've gotten after that, is points to that the problem of being able to understand how best to source for financing is one major problem for many of the entrepreneurs. Just focus on creating value, because anytime you focus on creating value, you are attracting capital. Mr. Elumelu looked back at least from working closely with him, I know this. He looked back and he's always has this passion for the continent and also for entrepreneurship. If we're able to finance, 1,000 entrepreneurs every year and train them and groom them to help their businesses take off, then we truly will be achieving that dream of ensuring an Africa that is well developed and built by entrepreneurs.
And for 2 hours, Tony Elomelu took the stage to engage with the entrepreneurs, answer their burning questions, and make introductions. Self-belief and the power of vision, he told them, are what carried him forward.
I'd like to start by congratulating all of you. You have done well. 20,000 of you applied and 1,000 chosen, and you all made it. Congratulations.
My solution is coming up with an application that will allow Nigeria security agencies to communicate simultaneously. So my challenge is I try all my possible best to contact the Nigerian police and the National Security Advisor because I need their endorsement for this kind of application to run into all 774 local governments in the country.
God bless you. We do have solution.
Thank you.
Nasru El-Rufai, Governor Nasru El-Rufai will deal with this so easily. Okay.
As a startup, you don't have money to do TV adverts, to spend millions like Jumia, to do all those things, but you also want your products to be everywhere. So what's your advice without eating too much of your capital to get the kind of exposure that your product needs to survive?
Look for other creative means, but don't ever try to imitate some of these big players. You crash out. Take it one step at a time.
So now what do I want? I want a partnership with UBA. I want UBA to be the transaction operator for my platform. That's what I want. That's why I'm here.
So we're unleashing a lot of entrepreneurs and aggressive entrepreneurs on the continent. This is what we want. By the way, entrepreneurs, also aspiring entrepreneurs, know when an opportunity presents itself and don't fail to seize the opportunity. The CEO UBA Africa is right here. Come and meet him now and take his card immediately. Okay, so we don't make it quick, short questions.
My name is Ahmed Abbas from Egypt. I had a dream, yes. I had a dream to connect with our African brothers and sisters, and you have made this dream come true.
Right from the very beginning when I applied for TEF, people kept asking, this is a private person, so what's the catch about this? There has to be a catch. Somebody cannot just come and start investing this kind of money in an entrepreneur without there being some kind of catch to it.
There's nothing, no hidden hand in what we're doing. Simple, I believe by my economic philosophy of African capitalism, that the private sector has a role to play in developing our continent. But in our environment, we have stifling conditions. Access to finance, seed capital, ease of doing business, mentoring. And to me, it's about legacy. It's about you all. Imagine, just put yourself in my position and working in my old age at 80, for instance, and I visit Zambia, and someone says, I own this financial institution, or I own this manufacturing, or I own this. Do you know how I started? So I said, no. I got $10,000 from a certain man from Nigeria called Tony Elomelu. That's how I started. That's my ambition.
And just to sit back and watch a room full of 1,000 entrepreneurs from 51 African countries was awesome, was mind-blowing.
This is the mother of African entrepreneurship.
And then to watch the entrepreneurs across, cultures, across boundaries, across different political, different histories, connect with each other. There are moments in your life that you will never ever forget, and that was the moment.
At the end of the bootcamp, the entrepreneurs received their well-deserved certificates and celebrated African entrepreneurship with Mr. Elomelu. This was also the occasion to showcase their products, like this entrepreneur who gave Mr. Elomelu a test drive on his Ghana-made Pembu bike.
After doing my analytics, tracking back until everything we have said, tracking the hashtags, I had no negative comments. And I was expecting to see at least someone say something, because it's social media. You're allowed to say anything you want to say. Nobody's holding you back. And people typically would say negative things, but I didn't get one. And followership base on a platform like Facebook, we had like close to 40,000 as well when we started, and now we have over 100,000 more followers on this channel.
The response from the Pan-African and global media, including print and broadcast, was also phenomenal. 11 front-page newspaper covers, features in Kenya, Uganda, Rwanda, and Francophone Africa 24. Broadcast television coverage included a CNN special.
Most entrepreneurs are creative people. They have creative mindset. They're innovative. Those who dare to dream and who dare to innovate in Africa should have the opportunity to prove their innovation. And that is why we have $10,000 for these 10,000 Africans to help prove their concept and prepare them for bigger scale financial support. We don't give because we see it as a moral burden to give, to just give charity. But we want to give people because we want to uplift them. We want them to be self-reliant. We want them to be fishermen. We want them to do what we are doing. We want them to prosper in life, become successful. And I'm blessed. I have a very passionate and equally committed board of trustees members. My wife is a member of the board of trustees.
I think the TEF is a fantastic program. I'm so glad that it was the first year has been really successful. I'm hoping to see, if possible, as close as possible to 100% success in the businesses, so that at the end of the day, we have hundreds, millions of successful entrepreneurs.
Thank you to Nelumelo for putting this together. These are great folks that are going to be creating businesses for Africa. I know you're young people, you have a lot of talent. You're all going to be job creators for Africa and not job hunters. And you need a lot of support. I want to assure you that as President-elect of the African Development Bank, I will be there to hold your hand, to support you, and to celebrate you as you all take on the world and build global businesses.
I also, in particular, want to congratulate Tony Elumelu. And to those of you here with this opportunity, use it wisely. This field is no longer something of narrow commercial significance. It represents the possibility of human endeavor for the benefit of all. Today, you're helping your fellow citizens, your community, and you're not just creating jobs and expanding your economy, but you're improving the quality of life and the welfare of fellow citizens.
The Tony Elumelu Foundation recognizes that one of the key challenges facing Africa's entrepreneurs is the state of the enabling environments in which they operate. Therefore, in addition to providing direct support to select African entrepreneurs, the Foundation's research and advocacy arm is developing policy using TEF data. Based on this research, the Foundation produced its first original report, Unleashing Africa's Entrepreneurs, Improving the Enabling Environments for Startups.
In Africa, there's a paucity of data. And when you're talking about the African entrepreneurial ecosystem, there's even much less data available. And so our chairman, before this program began, he challenged us, let's see what you can come up with based on the data we gather. Let's see what policy we can change based on our fact-based data.
The most important thing that's emerged is also how do you use the fact that you've got 20,000 entrepreneurs, 19,000 who didn't get through into the program are still part of our network. This is extraordinary data, extraordinary information.
This report speaks directly to over 20,000 entrepreneurs across Africa. That's huge. I don't think there's any other report out there that can boast of our data set. And so I think this report is unique. Our main focus really is to position the foundation as the authority on entrepreneurship on the continent. And we arrive at that position by doing focused research, engaging with our entrepreneurs and other stakeholders in the ecosystem, and also engaging with policymakers who affect the enabling environment for entrepreneurs. So when we arrive at this research, we then connect with other stakeholders to engage them on the findings in order to create the right environment for entrepreneurs to flourish.
Not content with launching the biggest entrepreneurship program on the continent, Tony Elumelu is leveraging his convening power to engage African leaders, policymakers, stakeholders, incubators, investors, and the Tony Elumelu entrepreneurs on the value of supporting African entrepreneurship.
Introducing these entrepreneurs, Tony Elumelu entrepreneurs, to the presidents and seeing the presidents engage policymakers and directing them to improve their policies. It is so wonderful, so satisfying. And so I use my contacts, my convening power, my circle of influence to preach competitiveness. What is good for one entrepreneur is good for all entrepreneurs. It's evident to succeed. And so for me, the greater impact is not just on the 10,000 to million entrepreneurs, but the whole ecosystem of entrepreneurship in Africa that we're helping to touch, to galvanize, to prepare, to push. I mean, it's wonderful. And these presidents are listening, which is good.
Those, small meetings, the 170 in Kenya, the, 50 plus in Uganda, in Zambia, in Mali, in Senegal, in Cote d'Ivoire. It was an opportunity to now engage with them in small numbers, which has resulted in some amazing things, like the Minister for Entrepreneurship in Cote d'Ivoire said, I really like the program and the structure and the framework. I want to know if I can replicate this program in Cote d'Ivoire.
They have so much fire in them. They want to do something. Once you meet them, they're talking about their ideas. They're telling you about the challenges they're facing. And you know that, it's going to definitely change the face of Africa.
The Kaduna State Governor, back about 3 months ago, asked to meet with our Kaduna-based TEF entrepreneurs. And before then, the foundation had conducted a targeted survey at these 24 Kaduna entrepreneurs to find out the specific challenges doing business in Kaduna are meant for them. When he saw our results, he was so excited, he was so encouraged, and right there and then, he decided to make the process of taxation simpler and easier for entrepreneurs because it was their number one challenge.
Through its engagements with global entrepreneurship forums, the program is promoting the role of African entrepreneurs within the global supply chain and putting African innovators front and center on the global stage.
There's need for a new narrative of Africa. The world must see that beyond famine, fighting, squalor, AIDS, that there's a new side of Africa, that we do have a lot of entrepreneurs in Africa, and that we do have even people who have great ideas that can change the world, but they lack opportunities. And let's create opportunities for these people. That's why we need to tell the Tony Entrepreneurship Program message to the world. We need to share it, and so that those also who want to invest or who want to give in Africa, they need to begin to change how they give. They need to give in a manner that helps to create self-independence and not perpetual syndrome. And so when President Obama came to Africa 2 years ago and launched the Power Africa initiative, when he came and preached and said trade and investment and not aid, I thought that was fantastic. That was like me talking.
Instead of perpetual aid, development has to fuel investment and economic growth so that assistance is no longer necessary.
In February, we hadn't even launched the program when the foundation was invited to speak at the Mass Challenge UK launch in London. Another one was in Milan with the Global Entrepreneurship Congress. And again, sharing, okay, so this is our ambition, this is what we want to do. And how they're all blown away by the size and the scale and the audacity that an African would conceive of such an ambitious program that would really impact people's lives. The culmination of that was really when we were invited to be part of the Spark Coalition, which is a coalition of entrepreneurship programs that President Obama brought together in Washington, D.C., really in preparation for his Kenya Global Entrepreneurship Summit.
Coming to Africa again this year and focusing his trip on African entrepreneurship was sealing it.
This is our first Global Entrepreneurship Summit in Sub-Saharan Africa. We wanted to come here. I wanted to be here because Africa is on the move. Africa is one of the fastest growing regions in the world. People are being lifted out of poverty, incomes are up, the middle class is growing, and young people like you are harnessing technology to change the way Africa is doing businesses.
And they said actually the road to Nairobi goes through Lagos. That was a major statement. So I think President Obama is an Afro-capitalist and is also a supporter of entrepreneurship, or TEF in particular. Afro-capitalism is saying we need the private sector to invest long-term because we believe that they have a role to play in developing the continent. And because we believe that once you make profit, you can touch mankind and humanity. And entrepreneurship is the pipeline that creates future private sector leaders.
Mr. Alamulu reflected on his experience as a banker. He saw the impact the expansion of the bank had on the local economic ecosystem. He saw what was possible if you provide access to capital to people. And that really shaped his thinking around, well, what more can the private sector do beyond just banking? Can you provide access to healthcare, education, employment opportunity, finance, clean water? Can you address some social needs? And that's where he said, well, how do we create a movement around the idea that the African private sector can create both economic and social value for people?
We need to have a pipeline of African leaders, private sector leaders, entrepreneurs, who must keep the wheel turning.
We are confident that this program will benefit not only us, but many who are going to benefit from the education and the strategic ideas that we have gained. And we look forward to using that to develop Africa in a big, big way.
Everybody else kind of to Southern Africa or West Africa or East Africa. And this one just brought us together, uniting Africa as a continent. And that's what we need.
Nous avons toutes les armes potentielles pour que nous puissions faire demain de l'Afrique le rêve africain.
Now we can customize our product for, the Pan-African market. So we're going home, we're going big.
Africa in 50 years, I don't see an Africa as a land of plenty. A land where there's no more poverty. Income per capita is good. Poverty, inequality is low. Unemployment is single digit, almost non-existent. An Africa where there's no extremism. An Africa where we're not fighting. An Africa where we have self-confidence. And above all, an Africa where there's self-sufficiency. An Africa that can feed itself and feed the world. That is my dream. And I believe that the seed we plant today through the Tony Elumelu Entrepreneurship Program will help to develop Africa in the future.
Thank you very much. May I no, come on. I'd like to invite Mr. Elumelu to take 100% credit for the most extraordinary program.
I always tell Pamela that the easiest thing is to have ideas. Or the most or more difficult one is to implement the ideas. And that's the lady who, with her team of experts. You saw Abimbola standing there all through. That's how they work, like the German machines. Thanks to you and your team. So I'm told this Q&A in case you need, want to ask some questions or anything. So if it's too hard, ask Pamela. If it's soft, ask me.
Where are the Tony Elumelu entrepreneurs in the room?
You have some?
So please feel free. I mean, this is a documentation of our journey in 2015. You can see we've been working very hard.
Yes, please. Any microphone for him? Can you stand at the center?
Good afternoon, Mr. Elumelu. My name is Elder George Bolatiwa. I am the president-elect of EO Network, Abuja chapter. I want to say I'm very happy to be in your midst today and to also tell you that you're a very audacious man, and I salute you for that. And on behalf of the African children, I think your initiative here is so powerful. I'm an American, a Nigerian American, and part of the thing that I've seen in the West is the type of commitment that you have shown. And one of the things you've mentioned, and the question that I have, I'll get to it, is there are a lot of people in Africa that have a lot of money sitting idly in some bank in some Western countries. And the joy or the satisfaction of their wealth is the amount of money they have in the bank account. And that cannot sustain. If we are going to change, most African privileged men and women must do what you are trying to do now. Now, my question is, how are you trying to engage some of your friends that you are in the banking industry, you see their account every day, you know how much money they have, to ask them, could you do these for at least 300 men and, young women? Please. I got Thank you very much.
Okay, so let's respond as they come, right? I think thanks so much for your kind appreciation and commendation. There's a difference between a rich man and a wealthy man. And the truth is, some of us should fast forward to the 21st century and begin to realize that indeed it's not what you really have in bank account that matters. It's the legacy. At some level, we all have different levels in life. There's a level you're struggling to pay house rent, as we did before. There's a level you're struggling to furnish your apartment, as we did before. And there's a level you're struggling to train children. And there's a level you're struggling to make sure that in retirement you don't starve. But beyond this, you begin to think of impact and legacy. We've seen that we even discussed it this morning, many rich men, the people who come after them don't even utilize that money very well. So why don't we create maximum impact, legacy that will live beyond us forever? So I think that is a driving force. And that is where I believe everyone who is endowed should be moving towards. And I think, to answer your question, therefore, that these actions of when we do things like this, it helps to propel, encourage, and drive others. We leave most business leaders today are competitive. And I think it doesn't have any boundary. So all things being equal, others will also try to do more in their own way. The way we defined giving before, in my viewpoint, was not sustainable. Created a perpetual syndrome of dependency and did not allow people to be does not create people to become self-reliant. And so people were more interested in other ways. There are also people who criticize me. Entrepreneurship, what of school fees, what of this or that, what of water for our community, what of building churches. So it's how you choose to intervene. I think that if we realize that no one but us develop Africa, if we realize that interventions like this, giving, should help people to become self-reliant, then we should use that as criterion for judging every dollar giving that we make, to say, how does this help the beneficiary or beneficiaries to become self-reliant? If we ask ourselves that question, then we'll be able to change the way we give. The whole world, I believe, is now moving in that direction. So you see today people who like to do traditional charity, somewhere they're also trying to, or beginning to do things like this. And finally, I would say, today was a very difficult day, as it was an exciting day for me. Difficult because we saw with the quality of applications that came through, very, very good applications. But because we have limited resources, we're $100 million, 10,000 Africans, that is 1,000 per year, $10 million a year. That means even if we got 2,000, 3,000 very good, successful people who can't help all, who must prioritize and choose 1,000. But you see the great initiatives, ideas that others have. And we saw them today. In fact, for Accenture, the partner is here too. We even beyond 1,000 had another 100. So in case anyone drops or something happens, to just feel from there. And I said to them when we met today, the selection committee member, that we need to take it upon ourselves. And that is important to what you said. To look for partners who can come on that list and take some. So we take 1,000. If we have another group, I say we take 100, we take 500, we take 1,000 again, that will help Africa. Because we have seen, it would be nice if we can let one or two people from those who participated in 2015 share their experiences thus far. We've seen how interventions like this can change lives. We have someone that featured this year, Shadi. Shadi is from Sokoto State. Shadi is a beneficiary of Tony and Awole prize, so which we give. I read economics, my wife read medicine, and so we decided to put a prize in place to help students in economics and business related, and also medicine across some Nigerian universities. And so he was a beneficiary, University of Sokoto. We didn't know before anything, he just was the best. You know, we must create a society where if you're good, you stand out. And things come to you because you're good and not because you know someone. I never knew this man before. He benefited from it. And I've seen a Shadi then and a Shadi today. He's gone with me to the White House during the Obama event last year or 2 years ago. Last year, he was in Kenya. You saw him speaking on stage with in Kenya or Nairobi. I didn't know him from anywhere. His expertise or his brilliance and an opportunity saw him through. He has set up a school in Sokoto State. And just last week, he sent an update to us. The governor of Sokoto State set up education reform team, put him as a member. And he is using what he shared with us in Kenya. He's using education to change change mindsets and get people to behave better in a society where if people are not well guided. In the interview, I said something about hope. You know, economic hope is so critical, of hope. When people don't commit suicide, if they know there's hope for a better tomorrow. But if there's no hope for a better tomorrow, why do you live? So when people see Shadi in Sokoto and how he's prospering and how life is changing, he's employed. How many people have you employed now? He has employed 137 people. This is how we can change Nigeria. And this is how we change Africa. And the truth is, if you go through these applications, I didn't go through them, but from the feedback and analysis, etc., they said they are fantastic people. So I wish we can actually take more. And this morning, I engaged with African Development Bank to say, how can you please help to take some from this? So my new advocacy, beyond what happened in National Assembly yesterday on competitiveness, my new advocacy is we need, please everyone spread the word. We have 45,000 Africans applied, 1,000 chosen. We can get like 3-4 more good thousand out of that list. We need these people. We need to help them, give them hope. And essentially, if I'm correct, please, if I'm not correct, come up. He's told us that the idea stage people is about 70% or 80%. 68%, I just did. So that is people who are just trying to start, who have just ideas. And we have seen what $5,000 can do for people. So nothing is on your question. So I wish we can share it with the rest of the world. So Shadi wants to say something, yes.
And I just want to add as well. Okay, so I just want to add that what Mr. Olumelu has done is to create a model which is transportable. So you saw the 7 pillars of TEF. So if any other millionaire, billionaire, the high net worths, or other governments, we mentioned in the documentary that the Minister for Entrepreneurship in Côte d'Ivoire said, I want to replicate this. We've now signed an MOU where we will provide the framework, the program that we've designed, and they will implement that program for the entrepreneurs in Côte d'Ivoire. This model is transportable across Africa and Kaduna State as well.
What we need to do is to share this list with some of these people so they can
Absolutely. But you know, the beautiful thing is that they don't have to do the framework. That investment was made last year. Exactly.
Okay. Hello, everybody. I just want to ask 2 questions, but before then, I want to share some information that that my mentor had already started talking about. I'm from Sokoto State of Nigeria. I'm a Muslim, and Mr. Tony Olumelu is a Christian from the southern part of Nigeria. And like he said, I have never met him before. The first time I came to this building, I was Shadi, and my flights from Sokoto to Lagos was paid for by the foundation, my hotels, even my taxiing from the airport to my accommodation and back here were all paid for. When I was called on the phone, invited, the first thing I asked is, who's footing the bills? And they said, Mr. Olumelu. And that was in 2011. And so far, I came and I saw a man who had a vision to change the narrative of who we are as Africans. And since then, I have had that passion to follow the footsteps of this man who I never knew, but created a contact. And since then, you know, I received an invitation some days ago. And today I'm in this hall as Dr. Shadi Sabe. I just went online, paid for my return ticket from Sokoto to Lagos. I got at the airport and I boarded a taxi and I paid. And
that is what we want. That is what we want.
Yes,
that's self-reliance.
Yes, I booked my own hotel. I taxied myself here, and this is because I have seen a model that I have tried to use throughout this period. When I came here in 2011, I had just 23 staff workers. Today I have 137. I had about 63 students in the school. Today I have 676, about over 1,000% shootout. And I have gone with Mr. Olumelu, accompanied him to the White House. I have spoken on the stage in Nairobi. You know, when I was called...
With Obama.
Yes, on the same stage as Obama. And I remember coming to the foundation before my travel to Nairobi. And Mariamu, you know, I call her the brain behind the skull of my presentation. You know, she sat me down and asked me, what are you going to say? And I started writing a lecture in the University of Economics. You know, I started writing so many things. And she said, look, this is not a lecture presentation. This is a crowd that you have to realize you're talking to, and you should know the message. And she said so many things. I looked at her and I was like, wow, there is intelligence here. You know? And I went on stage and I spoke. 3 months later, President Barack Obama in Washington, he mentioned my name and the name of my school.
God damn it.
And last year, you know, I was in Nairobi, this entrepreneurs boot camp organized by Eric Kinotti. They sent me a message and they said, we saw what you did. We heard what Obama said of you, and we don't know if you could come to Nairobi. And in my mind, at that time, Mr. Olumelu has taught me reliance. So I didn't ask them, are you going to foot my bill? All I said was, is there an opportunity to mentor? Is there an opportunity to improve, you know, the thinking of Africans, that you can from nowhere get to somewhere, you know, and spread everywhere. And they said yes, but we're going to book you on a business class. We're going to, and I was like, wow, you know. So I sat on Ethiopian Airlines, Cloud9, business class, and, you know, I was. But I have two questions. I'm saying this because entrepreneurship is key to unity. Entrepreneurship where is what binds us as individuals to have a focus. We want to create jobs, we want to have an impact, and nothing comes to our minds like we are one, you know, whether we have different bias in religion or whatever. I have two questions, sir. One is, how can
that's the Miriam. Come here. Come here, Miriam. It's your force to pick her up. So that's the Miriam we talked about that was teaching, checking everything. So give her a start. Yeah. Right now. Okay, go on.
So my first question is, how can we transfer the idea of entrepreneurship as you understand it to good governance as it relates to the dwindling level of governance in countries in Africa? And two, as a rider to that, when would we see people like you coming out to move from the individual, the firm, and the state, moving from the private sector to the state and coming into the political setting, so we can take the advantage of having people like yourself? These are my two questions.
Thank you. First is Shadi is just a wonderful example of what we've been talking about. The issue of self-reliance, the 21st century way of giving, intervening in a manner that is sustainable and not in a manner that creates that keep coming every year, asking for. You know, I mean, this story just answers everything. A man who was paid for even a taxi to come from the airport to the hotel today can go anywhere on his own. That's how it should be. And, you know, I also, you know, so many good things about it. And I think we are beginning to have, I think it was in Washington, I engaged and I was telling them that we have a new crop of African leaders, you know, both in the private and public sector, but especially in the private sector, people who are educated or enlightened, you know, and who see things from, not from a parochial or narrow perspective, from a very broad perspective. I mean, we just finished the second selection of these 1,000 people. I didn't sponsor one person. In fact, I don't even know the names of people. Essential man, when he finished, he's right here. When he finished presenting, the question I asked was, so where's the list? Who has the list? Because the list has to go online. When we all start behaving in this manner, then we begin to have a merit-driven society where you don't need to know anyone. I think my brother, someone approached my brother some days ago, so he wrote me and said he has 3 candidates. So I put LOL in my response. I'm sure he will have the message here. I put LOL and said, please tell them beyond me and let it go through the system. So Shadi, all I can say is God has chosen you as a catalyst and agent for change in Sokoto and northern Nigeria and Nigeria at large. Take it as a call and in fact a burden that you will not relent until you have more Shadis who can also take it from you and spread across the region and the country so that people begin to see things in a better way and begin to, and truly, why would Shadi commit suicide? You know, we need to ask ourselves, but if this man finished school and no hope, etc., it becomes easy to recruit. So we all should hold ourselves accountable for what we are going through in the country. Because we fail to play our own, and truly, this is where I agree with government. Government alone cannot do everything. So we too must play our own role. In fact, everyone here, if you like, can just say, I commit to taking 1 or 2 people from that list. Everyone can play a role, and let's keep building and contributing in this manner. To answer the 2 questions, first is, maybe I'll start with with the first one is how do we get others to do things? That's the first question. Yes, no, okay, that's the second one. Okay, let me now answer that. And I think for me, when I work with colleagues, you have Rashid behind you there, who was in private sector and had a stint in public sector as the CEO of Bank of Industries. When they go to places like that, you begin to see changes. And so we need to have pockets of this all over and hopefully in the long run begin to change society. When the vice president was speaking, I whispered to Mrs. Duke, they belong to the same church. I said, wow, this man has talent. I wish he can play more in the governance of the country. I think society is changing very quickly. Yesterday, I was at Abuja. In fact, the story is quite interesting. I've been invited by the Senate, by Senate President's office, to come for doing business session. So when the first invitation came, I don't know what happened, but I didn't go. They now sent another one, so there was a conflict, calendar conflict. So I was not supposed to go. That was yesterday. But somehow, by chance, luck, I was, at times, not at times, most times, at some level, you rely on people you work with. You don't see everything yourself again because it's impossible, even if you wanted to. So they summarize, and you just take their summary. And that's why you must have also the right people working with you because you are sourcing your brain box to them. So that's why I call it. So they summarize. But somehow I was on iPad because I'm trying to migrate. So I opened it and I read everything by ease of doing business. And I said, wow, this is what we've been preaching. Well, the competitiveness of our economy or economies, Nigeria, Africa, is key for the development of the continent. If we are not competitive, look at what happened today. Rwanda has the highest success rate in this program. We saw it today. About 50 people applied from Rwanda, 20-something were successful. Ashanti, all right? 50 to how many? Can you give it a microphone? How many people? 55 applied, and 20 were successful. But in some countries, in some other areas, like even Nigeria, about 6,000 applied, and how many were successful? 500 and some, so like that, like 10% or less. But for Rwanda, it's almost 40-something%, I think. So we're now started looking at so many things. Internet penetration is a factor. Also, the ease of doing business, because the ease of doing business opens the brains and certain things. So anyway, summary is that when I saw it, I told my people that but there's something I wrote to them, something like I think I said that this generation, and I'll be failing myself and the generation if I do not attend that event. You're here, empty. Wow, we have stars in the room. Oh. Wow. That I said I'll be failing my generation, myself, and the country if I don't attend. So I was there yesterday, and if you're on social media, it must be. About last night, I told my congregation, I said, I hope they don't banish me from Nigeria this morning because I spoke my mind, which is true. I spoke my mind in no bad fashion to call on National Assembly that they are failing the country. They should help us do what they should do. In fact, they should sit down and pass 1 bill per week into law. And that America, during the global financial crisis, which is true, the houses there met Saturday, Sunday to pass bills. So why we have a serious economic condition, crisis. It's difficult times call for difficult moments and reaction. We just go there, they will spend 1 hour on a job. What are you at? It's like there's crisis here, and not tell me you want to go home. All of us can even sleep here. So we need to create that sense of urgency. And I think that's one of the ways private sector can also participate in shaping the right governance without necessarily participating directly. But I think in future we will have more private sector people going to government because we need to run Nigeria like a PLC. Okay. They'll be showing paper about, we will take questions, maybe I'll be briefer. So let's take number 1. Lady, any lady? 2, 3. Wow, 4. Someone be checking, not be checking. 5, 6, 7. You gave the lady, she doesn't have voice. Okay. 8. I thought 2 was here. 8, 9, 10. Can you do you know the 10? So we take you see now. But 10, okay, you know your numbers. Okay, quickly. Sorry, you do mind? No, your name and what you do, uncle. I'm saying the Yuba ladies here. That's you. No, you. I would like to hear yourself because I wrote about you. Did you see that page of this day yesterday? Why? You didn't see it? Nobody drew attention to it. Are you not? You are the Uber lady engineer workshop, uncle. I did. You need to see back page of UBM this day yesterday. I wrote about you. Yes, go on.
My name is Charles Okebuno. I was on the 2015 cohort, one of the existing alumni.
So you're successful in the last one?
Yes, I was.
There's so much noise coming on this area, please.
And in fact, I've written you twice, so I don't know if you ever received my letter since then.
Your name again?
Charles Okebuno.
Okay. Did I respond?
No, you didn't.
Oh, then if I don't, then I certainly didn't get you. It's one of the long messages I'm not.
Okay, but I want to say that what is unique about this program, and which is what I also propagate on social media, is not only the transparency, but the efficiency. If you start a program on the 1st of January, and by March, you're doing thousands of applications, and you come out clinically with the numbers at this time in Nigeria, in Africa, it is something to be commended everywhere in the world. I'm saying it.
Amanda and team.
So I really commend the entire team and everyone who works backstage for this. I'm asking this question because a few years ago, I was at the British Council meeting, and I shared my idea with someone, one of the senior people there, and he said to me, you know, if you break through at 25, what would you do when you're 50? And that really punctured me, because I was wondering, he didn't take my idea on the strength of the quality and the possibility, but on the strength of my age. So what have I used my $5,000 to do since I received my seed capital? I have an idea that people listen to, and sometimes I wonder, is this thing workable? And why did I enter for the competition? Because each time I talk to family and friends, they say it's a great idea, but I think I'm wondering if they are massaging my ego, or they don't want to say we don't think it's worth it. So it wasn't the money. It was the fact that an objective body would look at this, take it through a process, and say it is worth investing in. So that in the last couple of months since I received my seed capital, on the first week in September. I have invested my seed capital going from place to place, sharing my idea at no cost. All I've asked them is open the door, just listen to me. 45 minutes is all I ask. Just listen to me. Just listen to me.
What's your line of business?
Training.
Managing
workplace conflict. I'm an international accredited mediator. And so I feel that I can reduce the value of conflict in organizations, the amount of money they spend every year resolving conflict between staff and customers, or staff or the business and other organizations. That's the entire gamut of the idea. But no one has been able to say, bring this thing. I said, I'll do this for free. When you implement it, if it works, pay me. So the question is, 1,000 entrepreneurs received the seed capital, and many of them will be like me, who are going about testing the ideas. When I met Madam Paminda at the African Business Conference, she said, how much money have you made? Yes, she said, how much money have you made from your seed capital? And I said, well, I'm still at the advocacy. I'm still talking. All I need is one success story. I know there's value, but if I put money before the value, it will still discourage people. So all I need is an open door. Now, I think there are many entrepreneurs like me. There are many entrepreneurs like me. I feed off right now on my legal profession. My idea hasn't.
We've got 10 other people. No, can I just finish? We've got 10 other questions. We've got about 50, 60, 100 people waiting outside.
Okay.
So can we just keep our questions really...
There's some... Okay, thank you.
Have you asked your question?
No, the question is there has to be some form of fora where these 1,000 entrepreneurs can share their business challenges so as to be able to form a synergy for solutions. Because like you said, the idea on its own cannot produce the value that it is designed to solve. Thank you.
Okay, thanks, Charles. Charles, by the way, you display what I like, the indefatigable spirit of an entrepreneur. You didn't let Madam Pamenda come. You still made your point, but it's okay. I think we need to create an e-commerce space. I've told my people about it. They're listening to you now. So they were telling me it's done, and listening to you is not done until the ultimate beneficiary has solution to it. So our problem is not fixed. So we take it seriously. I note what you're saying. We do have a sufficient network in our system to do that. Even the fact that our lady, Yuba lady, we did not send her a copy of the OPE to all of them, shows again that there's room for more work. Okay, number 2 person. Yes.
Good afternoon. My name is Chico Wazie, and I...
I like that. But truly, she was my number 2, but no one. She'll be 2A, 2B. After you, she will speak.
Okay.
Her name?
Chico Wazie, and I run a software company called Talent Base. It's HR software. And unfortunately, my organization couldn't apply, and that goes to my question, is that there's organizations that are beyond idea stage. They're probably between 2 to 5 years. And especially operating in Nigeria and all over in Africa, it's still difficult to get over that hump of possibly you're making revenue, you have some clients, but you still need mentorship or guidance or more infrastructure. Is the TEF program looking to connect with entrepreneurs in that stage where they're beyond just idea, but are actually making revenue, but need a little bit more help and guidance?
No, your point is valid, because when you saw the 7 pillars of TEF, one of the pillars there is about training, mentoring, online training, etc. We do the 12-week program. One of the things we will consider to do, which Pamenda, please note this very, very well, is what you just said, because it doesn't cost us anything extra. It actually helps us to optimize the deployment, the capital we already spent in area of technology, to see how we can help mentor and have some of you participate in the 12-week training program, which, I mean, most of them say that is the most useful or valuable part of the program, and even the money is. So we should do something about that. I note what you said. And also creating this e-commerce platform that people like you, what he's selling, you might need it. And vice versa. So we need to make sure, and it's lacking actually in Africa, a place, because you see the question one lady asked me, said, you want to create awareness about your product, but you don't want to spend so much. You don't even have the money to create awareness. We have a common e-commerce platform. It can help create this synergy or network that will help everyone. Because the ultimate goal is to prosper Africa through entrepreneurship. And 10,000 people alone will not do the magic. So we need to have a wider ecosystem that will do this. So we will note the point you said. 2B.
Hello, everybody.
So please let some people stay with the people there. Let them be having. They are a better position. They have champagne there. We don't have champagne yet. Let them be eating cake and champagne, but we'll join them very, very soon. But we don't get to interact with these people always. So opportunities like this.
Hello, sir.
But also, let's just straight to the point, please. So we'll give others opportunity.
I am Mariam Adams.
Mariam, put it close to your mouth.
Mariam Adams. I'm also a recipient, and I run a filmmaking school.
Filmmaking?
Yes, I'm actually a cinematographer.
So, you're kidding. Pamenda, you need to know her.
I'm actually a cinematographer. I studied in India 4 years.
In India. Can you give her another microphone up? Let's hear her very well, please.
4 years.
You studied there?
Filmmaking in India for 4 years. But I love the cinematography aspect.
You're
of
Nigerian?
It. Yes, I'm a Nigerian, so that's what I focus on. So when I came back, I saw the way aspiring filmmakers do. That they're not so intelligent as so hands-on, and this is what they do over there. So that was why I started the filmmaking school, which focuses on hands-on. Then I had to go to all other TV station production houses to get internship and jobs for them. And so January, I started getting invitations from international body. They wanted to come to Nigeria. I don't know how they got to know about the school, but I know that I've trained about 2005 students last year.
You trained 2005 students?
Yes. I trained 2005 students last year, and I got an invitation from this Greening International body. And they said that they heard about the academy, which is Amazon Academia, and they're coming to Nigeria, and they want to see my students, and they want to engage them in a documentary and a kind of workshop for them. And so they're coming into Nigeria today because I got a letter from them. And so last year, again, there was this investors from Dubai that I also called in, and I had to send some tipites to them.
You call them tipites, that's the name.
Yes.
We have to find a proper acronym soon for that. I like that.
So we call ourselves tipites, and I had to send about 100 of them to
100 people to the program.
Yes, because I
we
kind
need
of
to monitor to know what's happening in that world.
Yeah, I kind of run a WhatsApp forum for tipites in Nigeria and outside Nigeria. So that's where we
well done. So people are already creating your own network.
Yes.
Wow.
And so my main question is, how do I kind of involve Tony Elumelu Foundation in this?
Exactly.
Because each time they ask me where you're coming from, and I have to tell them it's from here, because that was where I got the seed from. At the point that I got the seed, there was nobody ready to help. My mom was like, "You're not serious. This is Nigeria."
I mean, we need to run a documentary because people have been saying, how do you get others to motivate others to do this thing? When people hear stories like this, it can also, so we need to create more awareness about it. Even like program, interview people like this, it will help a lot. Wow, this is so good.
That is exactly what my question is about. How do I get the foundation involved?
How do you get the foundation involved? Pamela is listening. That I keep turning this way. I mean, there's work to do.
Okay.
There's work to do. Thank you very, very, very much. There's work to do. Let's hear you, Yuba lady, please. I can't wait to hear a story because I've been reading about it as I wrote about it, and nobody will know I've never met you. So let's hear a story.
Good evening, sir. Good evening, everybody. My name is Engineer Odua Goneni. I'm a mechanical engineer. Well, okay, before my business is just a year old. It's a one-stop automobile shop. We take care of vehicles, basically Japanese vehicles. Okay, I got into business with my technical skills because fine, I'm a member of Nigeria Society of Engineers. I'm current registered, that's Council of Registered Engineers in Nigeria. I had all the professional qualifications, but I did not have an entrepreneurship education. I lacked that. I had to go for it. So when I was 3 weeks into business when I got to know about the Tony Elumelu program. I sent him my application on the 28th of February. That was basically the last day.
Wow.
And thank God I got it. And so far, so good. I was exposed to entrepreneurship education. I've learned so much about business management. I've learned about mentoring. I've learned about leadership skills. I was able to build up myself. I can say I am fully balanced, both as a mechanical engineer and as an entrepreneur.
Wow.
So, thank God, I got the seed capital, and I was able to make my garage a standard garage. On a daily basis, we attend to the mechanical session, that's the repair session. On a daily basis, we attend to close to 40 cars.
In Lagos?
Yes, sir. I'm in here. I see my bank account increasing. I get.
Where do you bank?
UBA. I had to shift. I had to shift because before now I was with Zenith Bank. But I got seed capital from UBA. You have to partner with them also. Why take my money elsewhere? So, and thank God. And one thing I learned during my program was, whatever you are doing, do it very well.
Honestly.
Do it very well, and it will announce you. I never went out to Uber. I'm not good in marketing, maybe because I'm a mechanical engineer. So we are so used to calculations and all that. But the work, whatever you are doing, if you are arranging a service and if you are okay, it will sell you out from your little corner. I was introduced to Uber by just one customer. The person liked my service and told them that, this particular service that you are in need of, there's a lady in Yaba, she does it. Because before I touch your car, we'll have to do, even if you come and you tell me that it's just horn, I'll have to do a proper vehicle inspection for your car and a computer diagnosis.
Let's bring education to this line of business. That's what happens.
Exactly.
We'll get there. We'll get there.
So, and as such, we'll definitely see other things wrong with the car, and we are coming in through the professional way. My idea is to actually transform the automobile repair industry in Nigeria.
Maybe you do the indigenous
I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful to Tony Elumelu Foundation. Thank you very much for discovering me. And I'm so...
Before you sit down, you have my card for your
Yes, right now I'm going there. Yes.
And you will have several cars from Hair's Holding, which we didn't know that it was taken.
Yes, right now I have Hair's Holdings and vehicle in my garage. I'm so happy. Thank you for the partnership.
No, I even wrote to all the group companies again with that name. When I heard the story, when it appeared on Facebook, when I heard the story, I wrote to all of them that they should explore. I use the word, when you get to a certain level, you have to verify what you write. So I said, explore partnership possibility with this lady. And I think that.
Thank you very much, sir.
Well done,
Thank you.
well done,
Thank
well
you for teaching us that even whatever the situation is, you can actually make money out of it. There are so many pregnant ladies, they will be like, no, I'm heavily pregnant. No, I should sit down and relax. But still, because I know that failure is not an option for me. So no matter what, you should still work out. As long as I'm not putting to bed today.
Well done.
Thank you very much.
Well done. Congratulations.
Thank you for exposing me to the world. Thank you so much. I'm indeed very grateful.
Thank you. What's your name again?
Odua.
Odua.
But Tip, they call me Nini, but my name is Engineer Odua. Agbonini, yes, sir.
Good luck.
Amen. Thank you very much, sir.
Yes, she's the one I read in the article. No, she talked about Uber. She said, how she started, but how it started.
Like
they are working with that big business.
Yes, like Uber vehicles, I attend to at least 20 something in a day. So Monday to Fridays. So I see them coming in, and the person that even introduced me to them, I don't know them.
Nobody. When you're doing web, people will.
That's just it. So that's an encouragement to my
fellow. Spread your word for you.
My fellow Tipites that as long as we are doing what is right, we can actually create a platform to showcase our product or service outside.
Well done. Good luck.
Amen.
Thank you.
Sir.
We're proud of you. Thank you, sir. Okay, 30 seconds, please. So that.
Hi, good day, everyone. My name is Jamal Robert. I'm a beneficiary of TEEP 2015.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Well, I came to TEEP with the idea to put and promote businesses online, small and medium businesses, especially. Online. Yes, to help and promote small and medium businesses.
Use it for the e-commerce.
So yeah, well, basically, if I heard you talk about e-commerce, well, you have a competition. I'll be launching next month, hopefully. Yeah. So entrepreneurship is hard, and building these things, really, really hard. And I would want to know how you plan on extending the mentorship beyond the online platform. Because from time to time we need people to talk to. Yeah, and I've seen how startup IT companies are structured abroad, and pretty much don't have that here. And I would like to Yeah.
Okay. All right. Let's know the idea, please. We will review all these ideas.
All right. Thank you.
And see. Thank you. Well done. Number 4. No, that is 3. We've done 2 ABC. So 4.
Good evening. My name is Tosin Odunfa. I'm a TV personality. And I will say, first of all, there's no doubt that the legacy of the TEF program is formidable. And I will say also that I think I've found myself a new mechanic. I'm going to talk to
Wow.
My question is really about the skills gap that everybody has kind of identified across Africa. I know that you're expecting to touch a million people over the next 10 years, which is to say each company should hire on average about 100 people. One problem that they will definitely see is finding the right types of people with the kinds of skills that they need. My question to you is, would you consider, or are you considering partnerships with skills gaps or skills acquisitions initiatives and all whatnot as a way of sourcing human resource for these companies?
We did 2 things so far. So first is the Tony Elumelu Foundation and Rockefeller Foundation came together to set up a fund to assist players in the entrepreneurship ecosystem across Africa, and that is supposed to, because we believe, and that is my philosophy, that you can do, if you want to do everything, end up being jack of all trade. So try to specialize. And so we have chosen our own path, but we realize that the path we've chosen also requires a lot of dependencies. Okay, and so we set that up to support people, not much, but people in the ecosystem. Another thing we have done directly is we have investment in Seedrill, and I chair the board of Seedrill in Nigeria, and the Tony Elumelu Foundation is trying to help with the skill acquisition program for Seedrill. But these are not massive, large-scale interventions. We realize the fact that not just our entrepreneurs, but the continent itself requires all of this, the skill technicians, artisans, technicians for development. And we will like to support our entrepreneurs who are interested in going to that area. And we would like to also encourage people who want to come into the continent to develop. We were discussing with James Scale. We actually set up a company in Nigeria for this purpose, but the partners we wanted to work with, we thought they were coming, bringing their expertise to develop these vocational institutes. But apparently, they are like looking for contracts. And all my life, I've never done contract, and I don't want to ever be associated with contracts. So we decided to pull out as a result of it. So we will look for the right partners it's an area that we're in their need of in the country. And it's an area that is a must for the takeoff of the continent. So we'll support entrepreneurs, and where we see good technical partners, we will consider partnership in that area. Next.
Good evening. My name is Chast Inegwidion. I'm the founder of the Exit Startup. We're always fascinated by sharing untold stories, enterprising stories. I've been able to share a lot of TEF 2015 beneficiary stories. Marian Adams is one of them, Mama Muni, Sefa Mom, Designer Ops, and Pink Blue, the guy who runs the cancer organization. I want to wish you a happy 53rd birthday, sir. And I'm one of your strong mentees from afar who is always inspired by your articles.
Thank you.
My suggestion is in actually building a very strong media base for some of your TEF beneficiaries where they can best share their stories. Most especially a lot of young entrepreneurs who don't even make those lists want to see that a lot of people can still read their stories, go online and get more engaged. We'll be hosting one of those chats.
What I would say, the area of what you're talking about is an area of interest to me. So Pamela, so just to save time, you just note this, have a scheduled meeting with him in the office, and I'll get to. If I'm in the office, I would like to be part of it. If I'm not in the office, you take the meeting and share the ideas. So let's take it offline, okay?
Thank
Next
you.
one, 6. It's moving fast, so we have just 3 more.
Good evening. My name is Tunde Akiyode. I'm the Vice President of Retail at Jumia.com.
Jumia.
Jumia.
Jumia, yeah, Jumia.
I've also had experience working at Konga as well. Long story.
So both was.
Indeed. I'm not familiar about what you're trying to do with e-commerce, but
take it closer, please. So the mic closer to your mouth.
I'm not really familiar as to what you're trying to do with e-commerce, but I would
with cameras.
E-commerce.
Okay.
But I'm available to help out in any way that I can.
Thank you. We don't want to create a platform. Anyway, we'll talk about it. Pamela will note it. You give her your card. We don't want to create a platform for. There's so much to do. We have 45,000 people just are passing, or I won't say passing, but we just applied now. We're at 20, that's 65. We have a lot of other people that we can bring on the platform. We need them to begin to talk to each other. This very select group of Africans from 54 African countries, we will do something with it.
Okay. So you also mentioned that one of the greatest problems or difficulties within the continent is the power issue. But power takes a lot of significant investment.
Correct.
So if there was a team that has the technology, has the skill set, has the wherewithal to accomplish this, what advice would you give that individual or team in terms of raising significant amounts of capital?
Okay. So, sorry, I don't like to call people short, but because no time. But I think I got your message. The first one, I think I've responded to it. The second one, coincidentally, you're talking with an investor in power sector. And we are the biggest generators of power in this country today. The Transco power will generate about, or have capacity to generate about 750 megawatts. But because of the challenges we have in that sector, we do less than 500. But we do have capacity for more. And that's one of the things we're pushing. And reading the papers yesterday and seeing the president say that they will do 10,000 means they are not able to remove the obstacles that we have in the sector. As an investor, I know that power investment is a long-term investment. If I have someone coming to that sector, I will not encourage someone to go into that sector by debt. You know, it has to be a combination of debt and equity. And in Nigeria in particular, where the rules of the game changes so easily. In fact, but for Fashola, who just approved the cost-reflective tariff, and also thanks to the president for giving him the overall approval, that sector was doomed to fail because it can't produce at a cost. In fact, what I do now in our own space, we look at the economics on a daily basis. For the past, since like 1st of this month, we've been operating at a loss, so to speak, on a daily basis. You see, when you look at the total economics, gas, this, because for us to break even, we must operate at 325 megawatts of electricity every day. And remember, we have capacity for 750. So everything above 325 means profit. But we cannot because transmission lines, gas issue, pipeline vandalization, so many things. So, and this is what I say to national people, that if we want to fix our problem, fundamentals first, and the private sector will react appropriately. But when you don't deal with the fundamentals, so my advice, if you came to me, if I had a fund for infrastructure and you say you want to invest in power, based on what I know in that sector, I will not support you because it is to fail. But I believe that with Fashola and the Louis Edozie with the PAMSEC and also the overriding support or overarching support of the president based on all these commitments, if you wait a bit, let's see like 6 months' time, let's begin to see actions, match words. Then we'll begin to say, okay, it's actually a good sector. In fact, first year of operation we made is the only situation where power investment is a long-term investment. You don't break even for almost like 4 or 5 years, 5, 6 years. First year, we made a lot of profit. First year in Nigeria. So the opportunity is huge. But just some of this stifling policies. And we hope that if they improve them, things will improve. So I would say wait a bit, but fine-tune all your ideas, and if you do have access, let's touch base like in 6 months' time. Let's touch base like in 6 months' time, and you can reappraise this from a practitioner's point of view to tell you what goes on. 7.
Yeah, good afternoon, everybody. My name is Saeed Oshamon. I'm a TEF alumni.
Wow.
Yeah,
TEPite. What do you call it? TEPite.
Yes, TEPite.
So you're a TEPite. Do you have your network in Lagos?
Yes, we have. We have in Lagos.
You have a meeting tomorrow.
Yeah.
Do my people attend you? Do they know when you have meetings?
Yeah.
You copy them, but do they attend? Tomorrow is your first meeting. They have to be there. Well done.
So I'm a tech entrepreneur. I really appreciate your support and believing in our dreams, in our ideas. We'll be launching our website next month. I sent a mail to Madam Pavinda and the CEO.
The TEPite website for Lagos, eh?
Yeah, we are going to launch an e-commerce agro website.
Your company, okay.
Yeah, for e-commerce, for agro website where people can shop on their agro stuff. You want to buy your food stuffs and stuff like that. But actually, what I want to say is on the training aspect, we need to engage more of the TEPites on training on some certain things like the marketing and the
What you're saying is that it's a life cycle thing. We should just cradle to grave. We should just help follow so that you guys keep learning and
exactly,
keep
because
so let it not be a one-off thing. Eh?
Exactly.
We would put all of that into alumni. If you know a good alumni manager, we're looking for one to employ. You are one? Please, no, on a serious note, during the cocktail, come see me. During the cocktail, come see me on a serious note. And please, if you know other people, send. You have our email address, you have Paminda's email address. You send anyone, any friend, want to hire 1, 2 very good people in that space. Number 8, we're done. Oh, we're done. Okay. Okay. Okay, just quick. Okay, 30 seconds, then we're done.
Okay.
Exactly. I thought you were number 10. Okay. That is true. Okay, 2 of you people forgot. Okay. 30 seconds. I know the 4 of you. That's the end. Sorry. The lady will end the show.
Okay. My name is Adishino Kende.
Yeah.
I'm one of the beneficiaries of the last year Tonemelu program. Actually, my business, I've been doing great in my business because
You're one of your TEPites.
Yes. So from
we'll find a good...
From a single customer, at least I'm making an annual return of 2.8 million naira as at now. Yes.
From one customer to 2.1 million annually.
Yes. So now, and between now and January, we are going to have another customer, at least about 3 of them standing now that we should come and establish in the school, because we supply fruits and vegetables to schools in Lagos. And we do supply at least a minimum of 300 pupils in each school. So now what I want to ask is that how can the TEP member at least contribute to the to the initiative? How can we give back
Let's
to
clap
the
for this man.
How can we give back to the initiative?
Oh, thank you, and God bless you yourself for this. What we'll do is, let's not put too much load on you first. Let's allow you, but God bless your soul, as I said, and we note this giving spirit. In fact, majority of you want to give, and which is, so, sir, your first question: how do you change the mindset of people in Africa to start giving? This is how it happens. These 2,000, last year's 1,000, this one, 80% of them will give, because they are beneficiaries of that process. And so that's how you see a generation of givers. And when they will give in a manner that is characteristic of the type they benefited from. And that's how you change society. That's how you change mindset. And that's how you create generational statement. So I think it will happen. So thanks. We'll note your interest. We'll capture it for you and for others. Or let's give you a little more time, so that when you start giving, it doesn't become too much burden for you. But thanks so much. And there are other ways also beyond finance, sharing your own experience with others. So we need to have mentors from even you people, because it's easier when you tell others. Like Shadi's story, Shadi has to be a mentor, clearly. People will be inspired, so I can be like this too. I can be like this. So we need to tell that story.
Hello, good evening, everybody. Good evening, Mr. Tony Elemelo. My name is Sijibomi Ogundere. I am the CEO of Sujimoto Construction, and we are the one building the tallest residential building in Lagos. And
building the tallest residential building in Lagos.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We have our property on number 16 Bodilon, and we are actually.
Oh, Bodilon with the wrap around the.
Absolutely.
I thought it was one man that owns everything in Ikoyi that owns that one. I saw it. I just thought it was one man that he owns or confiscates everything in Ikoyi. So I thought it was him.
I'm the young guy. I'm the young CEO. So, anyway, I want to re-congratulate you. I think people have not been able to re-celebrate you again for your achievements. And when I was moving back to Nigeria 2.5 years ago, I read a story about you.
Sorry, take the mic.
Sorry. Yeah. I said when I was moving back to Nigeria 2.5 years ago, and my friends was asking me, why are you going back to the jungle? And I read a story about you, and it became an inspiration for me as a young man. And I've used that to transform my business. And today we're everywhere. Anyway, my question is, I've not heard from you people yet. Nobody has contacted me yet. Nobody has been able to look at what we're doing and see in a way we can even partner with the UBA or even, have a partnership or a mentorship or something like that. That's my first question.
Sure.
And the next question is that I sat down with a couple of MDs of banks, and their appetite for young, new entrepreneurs that want to take the story from here, maybe to here. The appetite for this type of investments is extremely minimal. And what is the group doing in not only creating these ideas, but also taking them to the next level with the propelment of finance? Thank you, sir.
Well done. By the way, congratulations. Congratulations, eh?
Thank you, sir.
Congratulations. And you're quite aristocratic. See the kind of suit you're wearing too. Triple-breasted. So anyway, so the first point about mentoring and co, we will. I like young people succeeding. So I'm always attracted to people like you. So I would like to know you more. I would like us, Tinuka, we should get have his number. Don't worry, when he's leaving, get his number, I give him my number, and we'll take it offline. You have my number. People, when I get some messages, and say, how do you get it? I say, my number is on the internet now. Everybody gets it now. Anyway, so it's okay. And Kennedy will also take it further. EBA just appointed a cool CEO, 21st century CEO. So stand up, let them see you. Stand up. Stand up now. Come this way, sir. Come this way. And make sure you're not taller than me when you come here. Can you see? Does it come very cooler than this? It doesn't come cooler than this. All right, well done. So he will get across and even have drinks. The second point also, when we meet, we'll talk about the second point, okay? Okay. Yeah.
Good evening. It's a wonderful evening just listening to and hearing some of the experiences. My name is Anthony Okoye. I'm the West African chair for Entrepreneurs Organization.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. We are charged with spreading EO chapters in West Africa. And prior to now, I've met with a couple of your staff. They've been wonderful. Trying to spread EO in Accra. I got lots of references from them. Miriam Amu has been very helpful.
Miriam, yeah?
Abimbola as well.
Abimbola.
Wonderful people. So I want to commend you for what you're doing. In terms of my colleague George has spoken earlier, EO and Tony Lumelu Foundation, both organizations are working with Obama on the Spark initiative. And I just want to, I like the spirit of spreading the ecosystem, entrepreneurship within Africa. Although mine is within West Africa. We have some our colleagues in East Africa and South Africa that are doing the same thing with your organization because of the spread. Last year, you guys helped us with our graduate student entrepreneurship awards program. One of your colleagues, I think, Madam was there. She was a keynote speaker for us.
Pamela.
Pamela was there, and we've areas of mentorship. We have identified that because here we can actually provide. We are speaking with your members about that entrepreneurship. But I just wanted to know the graduate students entrepreneurship program, which is targeted. We met some of your TEF alumni at this year's competition, and I was looking at maybe there's some other. Although we have a relationship with you, maybe it's more a stronger relationship because you see a lot of synergy.
Okay, so Pamela, since you're in touch with him, let's have you guys talk more with Oga from Abuja too and see what we can do. Okay. Yeah. So we end with you.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Olutope Egbetokun, but everybody call me Topsy Egbetokun. Topsy. I'm the CEO of Business Without Boundaries, and we've been around for a long time. I just came back from the state like 5 years. I literally left everything that matters to me because there was just a calling that come back to Africa. You have so much to give. I don't know why till I got here. And I'm happy, I'm privileged to be a Vital Voices Fellow by Larry Clinton, as well as an Ashoka change maker. So with those exposure and understanding, here I am in Nigeria doing so much. And I was privileged to just have an event this month during the International Women's Day. We call it the Global Mentoring Walk, and I did it in Lead City University, mentoring over 150 ladies from 5 different universities, and it was mind-blowing. And I also privileged to be one of your mentors for 3 of the TIPI last year. They got TIPI.
No,
and the 3 TIPI, they got the 5,000. I was very
people TIPI.
I was one of the mentors too, and the 3 people got the seats. So it's a good thing. And today I'm here too, and I'm hoping to impact. But my thing is more on the mentoring and mentorship.
Okay.
Because when I did the event this month, it was mind blowing. Right after the global mentoring, what I did in Ibadan, a lot of emails keep coming in that they need mentorship, that the youth, the women, the girls, they just need mentorship. That is lacking, is the gap that needs to be filled. And because of that, we started putting the framework together, and next month we are launching mentoring chapter in Ibadan. We are launching in Lagos, we are launching in Abuja, we are also launching in Port Harcourt, just mentoring program for women, youth, and girls in various areas. So my question is, how do you want to engage the mentors you have on your database?
Correct.
Not just one-time thing, tip, but your continuous thing on a local level, on a grassroots level, from state to state, community to community, city to city.
You said it all.
Let them go around.
Don't worry, you said it. No, I mean, you said it. Now we're talking of...
we're also looking for partnerships. Since we're going to this community, state by city, I cannot do it alone. I have a lot of mentors on board, both international and locally. It's going to be face-to-face.